everybody, welcome back to the Everyday Chef. Sitting here with a little campfire, big pot of oil. Neighbors are having construction done on their house. It's just everyday life here on the Everyday Chef. I was talking to some guys. We decided we were going to fry a turkey this year. It's really one of the most delicious ways you can cook a turkey, but there are some really significant safety concerns that we thought would be a really good idea to share with you about deep frying a turkey. And here I have my pot of oil, and the reason why it's already filled with oil is because you measure with water, and you want to be sure you get all the water out, dry it completely before you put the oil in. Now when you measure, you're going to take the turkey and stick it inside of the pot and then put water on top of it and let the water completely cover the turkey, and as soon as it does, you want to take the turkey out. And when you take the turkey out, that's when you know you have your oil level. Just mark it somehow, and I'll show you a couple different ways here in a second, but mark it and then dump the water out and completely dry your pot from all water before you put any oil in. And that's another big thing I'll talk about in just a minute. Now this pot in particular is marked on the outside with different pounds of turkey, 2 or 3 different selections. But especially for the first time, don't particularly go by that. You want to be sure that you mark and measure to begin with. You can use a ruler. Here you can see that I have dropped my thermometer, but you can see that I have the oil there, and after you take the turkey out with the water in, you could stick a ruler down and measure. And then just when you put the oil in, you could hold the ruler on the side and pour in your turkey. And you'd probably need a friend to help, because you'd probably need 2 hands to pour in a full thing of oil to begin with. Another way you could do it, possibly some kitchen string. If you had some kitchen twine or string, you have your water level there, just drop it down to the very top of the water, and then use a piece of tape or something to cut it. And there you'd have your mark, and then you just fill the oil up to the bottom of the string. And if worse comes to worse, you could always use a little piece of tape on the inside, maybe nothing like a duct tape, because that could leave some of the glue inside of the pot. Just maybe a masking tape or a transparent tape of some sort. Just any way you can to mark the level of water that you have in the pot. And then, as I mentioned, it's really important to get the pot completely dry of all water before you put the oil in. And the reason why, if you haven't ever noticed, water and oil don't mix too well. Here I have, I'll move my pot of oil, a small glass of water. And we'll just put the oil in, a little bit of oil inside, just to show what happens when you mix the oil in the water. Now you can see that all the oil just immediately came to the top of the glass. If there's any water in there, and if it boils, the oil could pop out of the pot, and especially with a flame fryer such as this one, as soon as that grease or the oil hits the flame, it could be a really dangerous situation. So you want to be sure that you get all the water out of the pot to keep the oil from coming out. Also, another really important safety feature, always have a fire extinguisher. Now, most fire extinguishers that I've seen lately have multiple different grades. The grade you're looking for this particular instance is the B grade. The B grade means that it's safe to use for gasoline, kerosene, oils, anything like that. So always have this on standby. This particular one, since it's ABC grade, we know that it's good for frying our turkey. Now, we're getting ready to put the oil onto the flame, and it's going to take about an hour for it to get up to temperature. And what we're looking for is 400 degrees. Now, another thing to consider too is the flame. If the flame, you notice, is coming around the edges of the pot, you know you have your flame set too high. That'll really just cook the outside of the pot more than it will the core of the pot and heat the oil all the way through. So be sure, if you have to get down and look, go ahead and get down and look. This flame looks like it's doing pretty good. Might even be turned up just a little bit. And always be sure you have plenty of propane in your tank. So I think we're set there. We're good to go. Now we'll put our lid on. This particular model has a thermometer hole right inside the lid. So we'll just drop that right in there. And like I said, what we're looking for is 400 degrees. Now there are some other probably safer options for frying a turkey, but we wanted to emphasize this one because of the dangers that are associated with it. There are the electric fryers that you could even use indoors. We just have this one. It's an older one we had on hand and thought it'd be a really good opportunity to emphasize some of the safety features that you need to know to safely deep fry a turkey. So we're going to let this come up to temperature to 400 degrees, and then when it does, we'll come back with the turkey, we'll put it in, and we'll cook away.